Hello, everyone. This is Plugged In with Dupree Marcel, and I'm extremely excited about this episode. This episode is the Duvaliers. It will be broken down into a few different episodes for Papa Doc, Baby Doc, Michele, and Mama Doc, Miss Simone. An incredibly important project in my life because I am a Creole. And full disclosure, my mother went to school with Baby Doc and Michele, and my grandmother was a chef for Papa Doc when he would have certain events in the palace long, long ago. I never got a chance to meet my grandmother, unfortunately, but it really, really ties in a lot of the nostalgia that I have. My mother, you would say, was a Duvalierist. My father, absolutely not. So the arguments, disagreements, the conversations that we would all engage in, and I have a fiery personality when it comes to knowing something, especially when it comes to history and its roots, is very, very interesting. And it was a dynamic that I really, really enjoyed having when he was alive. So, on your screen right now behind me, this is Michele Bennett, and many people blame her for the downfall of the government. When you are in charge of telling a story, you have to tell the story, the good, the bad, the ugly, in its entirety. Most of the stories that I heard about her from the populace, mostly negative. It wasn't the entirety of a story. I am a lover of history and information, and this is a reason that I had to look at the story on all angles. Most were negative. There was a CBS story that was done, and it painted them in a very, very negative light.
He was president for life, she was his first lady, and for almost 3 decades, the Duvalier Dynasty ruled Haiti with an iron hand. But then last February, the people of Haiti finally rose up and forced Jean-Claude Duvalier, known to the world as Baby Doc, to flee. What finally triggered the revolution? Hunger, poverty, one of the worst human rights records in the hemisphere? Those are all the easy answers. But when you talk to the people of Haiti, they'll tell you that the critical factor was not him, but her, the First Lady, a Haitian divorcee who won the heart of the president for life and changed our country forever.
If that is the only interpretation that you get, then it will screw your idea of them. It will definitely say, oh, I know everything that it is to know about someone and everything, and therefore this is that. The fall of the Duvalier regime was not one person. It was not one woman. The United States had an active role in trying to get what they could out of the Duvaliers. There's a small little town called Mont-Saint-Nicolas. Okay? Mont-Saint-Nicolas is really, really important because it was the United States offered to buy Mont-Saint-Nicolas for about $1 billion. Now, this is $1 billion that is in 1980 some money. And when the negotiations were going and Duvalier, Baby Doc said, no, that is far too low, the vultures of nations started to circle over the island, and they started to circle over the Duvalier Dynasty. And you could kind of see that the gloves were off. Race, color, class. Michele is the granddaughter of former President Nord Alexis, who is the grandson of the king, my favorite king in history, King Henry. And so he married into an aristocracy. The book, Written in Blood, details a chapter to the couple, why he couldn't have married one of us. And this is telling. It's telling because, again, when you're doing research for a project, you get into the nitty-gritty, the details of the populace. And his father, who became president and maintained the strong grip of power, was a Noiris. He was a Pan-Africanist. While married to a mulatto and having children with her, Baby Doc was seen as a child of the nation. Baby Doc's marriage to Michele was viewed as a betrayal to the Noiris population in the country, who makes up 90-95% of the population.
The story begins 5 years ago in a moment of seeming innocence. June 5th, 1980, in a ceremony so lavish that the Guinness Book of Records lists it as one of the 3 most expensive weddings, Haiti's 28-year-old president for life, Jean-Claude Duvalier, marries Michele Bennett, a divorcee and mother of 2. To most Haitians watching on television, it was enchanting. A storybook wedding of a king and a queen.
They liked her. They liked the queen. They wanted the queen. They had a queen.
Is that the way she saw herself, as a queen?
I don't think she saw herself as anything less than that.
Those issues can blow up, and blow up they did.
This was Haiti last February, just after the dictator Baby Doc Duvalier fled the country. But what these familiar scenes did not reveal was the extent to which the passions and anger of the Haitian people were focused not just on the dictator, but also on his wife, Michele Bennett Duvalier.
The former first lady, she's a bum. Michele Bennett, she's a prostitute. She make voodoo to take example, and all the time she take marijuana.
Spending money, millions and millions of dollars.
Michele Bennett, that's what she meant. Everybody called her is a lesbian.
She was a dick.
No charge about the former first lady seemed too extreme. Throughout the country, chants and lurid songs about Michele's sex life rang out on the streets. Graffiti and crude drawings appeared on walls. The body of this Tonton Macoute, a hated Duvalier security policeman, was roasted and paraded through the streets of the capital. When we talked to the people who murdered him, they told us that Michele Duvalier had ordered the man to poison the water supply of the capital, and that they had killed him before he could carry out her order. Who told the Macoute to do that?
Qui est-ce qui dit Macoute pour faire ça?
Michele Bennett.
Michele Bennett.
Oui.
So, take a journey with me through the good, the bad, the ugly, the parties, the gossip, the history, the nostalgia. And I thank you for taking the time out to watch this. So please, please like, subscribe. The entirety of the episode will be on my YouTube channel because it is quite long to put on to TikTok. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the Duvaliers.